And the criteria that we should use for that adaptation is one. We should always remind ourselves, what did the Buddha say? And we should make sure that anything we do is in accordance with the teachings, the original Buddhism, the experience the Buddha had under the Enlightenment tree. That is very important. If we don't do that, we risk throwing out the baby with the bathwater. We don't want to do that. We want to keep that baby. That baby is what Buddhism is all about. So we have to make sure we don't throw the baby out. And the second criteria we should use, having established what the word of the Buddha is, we should ask ourselves, well, what are the demands that Australian society places on us as Buddhists? And if those demands that are placed upon us as Buddhists by Australian society, if they match with what the Buddha said, if those two things come together, then I say that is the right time to adapt the tradition that we have to whatever that is when they come together, the word of the Buddha and the demands of our local society. That's when adaptation should happen. In fact, not only should happen, I would almost say it must happen, because in those circumstances, if we don't adapt in those circumstances, we are not going to have a Buddhism which survives in Australia in the long run. Eventually it will be rejected by Australian society because it's not close enough to the norms of Australia, not close enough to the norms of people living here. So then we should adapt to the society which is here. But we shouldn't do this with a light heart. We should make sure that when we do this, that we're doing the right thing, that it really is important, and that it actually is something which will benefit Buddhism in the long run.